going to a map like this?
Listen, I said it on Chalet. I've said it on Oregon. This is definitely not an Oxygen firing on all cylinders. It's a Newers firing on all cylinders, that's for sure. This man is single-handedly keeping Oxygen alive in these maps. I'm sharing the sentiment from Jesse here that this might be scary for Oxygen. As KARN starting on the defense, we lose the Nomad and the Dokkaebi in the attacking side of the operator bands. Man, again, like the story it could be for KARN to gatekeep OXG from the major and then line themselves up with a date with Space Station tomorrow in the semifinals. Quite the story. The Solus gets removed from play, and we're just waiting on our last operator ban before we begin the last map of the evening. No matter what, it does all come down to this for both of these teams.
A Consulate, as we've talked about, is an interesting one. We only saw this map 4 times, the least played map in the closed league portion of the North American circuit here in Stage 2. And it honestly went 50-50. Attacker-defender sided, it was just about 51-49%. Can't really draw much conclusions from that. So with those expectations out the window, and with a big question mark about this map that we're headed to now, I feel like there are so many unanswered questions about what these two teams are going to bring to the table. Because yes, we knew that KARN was strong on a map like Oregon, but we did not know that OXG would have so much trouble getting through them. So it could be the story of Oxygen running away with this, but it also could be the story of OXG troubles. Just doing a little too much damage and KARN seizing the moment. We'll see. It's round number 1, and we're going to start up top. It's console and meeting where things will begin.
I think I should also mention, I think we touched on this on the desk as well. Should KARN win this, it would actually be the funniest thing ever, because not only would it gatekeep Oxygen from Atlanta, it would gatekeep them from SI.
First time in like 4 years.
50, yeah, for Fox especially, as a member of this roster, it would be the first SI he's missed. And OXG currently sit tied for 54th right now in SI points. So if they don't pick up any more, they're very, very definitely not going to SI. So it all comes down to this for honestly how the next 6 months play out for Oxygen. Xro taking some damage as a Nitro, someone flying up the yellow skylight, connect on anyone for Oxygen, but starting things off, it seems like maybe KARN want to get a little active on the defense, really try and get inside the heads of Oxygen, because for KARN there is, I would say, much less on the line here than for Oxygen.
I think we've been able to tell in the vibes a little bit as well, in the small glimpses we get into the vibes by seeing Wi-Fi's smiles and what's going on over there. I feel like they're playing for fun and they're playing loose. Of course, there's a lot on the line here, but they know it's not their backs that are against the wall. It's not them that have the high expectations of going to the major and of taking down their opponents they've got in front of them right now. They are the underdogs, as they have been for, it feels like, the majority of their T2 lives. It's a position they're comfortable in, and it's a position they've thrived in before. This first round, KARN may be getting a bit active, as you said, Flynn, but for now, that action will come to a bit of a lull. Just reaching that 90-second mark where Oxygen have now worked their way in and finally worked their way into the crosshairs of KARN.
I mean, if you're going to find an opening pick here against Oxygen, Newers is the one you want to take out of play. Good job there from Tristan at the base of the yellow stairs. Newers just unaware of the positioning of the Valkyrie, and Tristan again going for a flank towards the server stairs, I guess they're called now, as the server and Visa stairs have been separated, and it seems like everyone's on fire here as Tristan will find another one onto Fish. Kixro dropping Foxay. The rappel into the bomb site here for Dream. He's holding a member behind the CEO desk. But unfortunately here, he's alone. Yaga will try and jump into the base of yellow stairs and come join him. But in a 2v5 to work out of here, Dream on about 50 HP, having traversed the fire and the flames of the Goyo canister that had been detonated. This is a tough position to be in. He'll wander his way into the bomb site. The pre-fire, my God, that man was on a drone and appearing as a statue. But there goes KARN. Here comes Dream. This might be doable if the coverage is good from Yaga, but he lost a lot of health in the earlier engagement. And now Dream will have to pull off, and there's the fire to burn him alive in the corner. There's no escape. And that will be KARN & Co. taking the first round topside on Consulate.
They start things off strong. And a fire now lit under the feet of OXG. They know the task that stands in front of them, and it's going to be a much more difficult feat than they may have otherwise thought. First round goes the way of KARN & Co. Just a really textbook start and making use of the chaos of this map. Consulate is a map that has always been a large map, but it's generally been pretty straightforward for attacking teams to clear. There aren't a lot of places you can hide. There aren't a lot of surprise spots. But now with so much more, not to say clutter, but just so much more added, whether that's walls, objects, doorways, so much more has been added to this map that has completely changed the way it has been played. Maybe not at its core, but there are a lot more little things you've got to worry about. And Tristan, getting those first 2 kills on this map, exploiting those new features and making sure that Oxygen are not only going to do their due diligence in round number 2, but now they better be ready for somebody around every single corner for the rest of this map.
I think that's a big point for this new rework of Consulate being added in is there's a lot of corners. There are a lot of rooms added now to the layout of Consulate, and it just makes it a bit more of a maze to be able to drone and clear and maintain the control of. The separation of those server and visa stairs now as well is just 2 different entry points that you have to maintain control of as the attacking side, and difficult proposition to be had. And you can see here for Oxygen, like every single member of the attacking side right now spreading out to a different corner of the map. Just try and get a hold on an entry point that could lead to some progress. Yaga opening up windows and can openers onto the projector balcony. Yellow stairs getting opened up, castle barricades into Visa, and just spotting one momentarily was the Ash of Newers. Didn't have much of an impact as the opening death in the previous round. I think the pattern is going to have to continue here for OXG. If they have a chance in this game, if they have a chance to move on in this series, they are going to require Newers to continue on his torrid pace.
See, Yaga's got a ping. He's got some information of what lies around the other side, but so does Tristan. He wins it with a shotgun. How brutal is that for OXG? You lost your sledge now. The importance of that vertical destruction on this bottom floor site cannot be underscored enough. Thankfully for OXG, they still have one recipe. They still have one ingredient to contribute to that. It's not Newers, thankfully. It's Fish with the skeleton key that you're going to keep your eye on. But now you've lost Newers early for the 2nd round in a row. It's a 4v3. KARN & Co. once again have the advantage.
Oxygen again, just trying to traverse the top 2 floors, and it looks like Foxe is going to come to blows with Tristan here. He's been on a rampage throughout the majority of the map with a super shorty, and actually it's Wi-Fi from outside of Piano that will drop Fish through the floorboards. So now Fox and Dream resorting to just taking aim towards the bomb site itself. Dream trying to enter in through yellow door, turning his attention back upstairs as he's hitting every goo mine on the map. Tristan still dealing a wealth of damage across the map without his presence being necessary. Dream and Fox trying to collapse, but there it is. Giddy, the super shorty, responsible for 3 victims in this round, and it's just Fox alone now in a 1v4. We'll spot that goo mine, but unfortunately needing to recollect the diffuser and turn his sights back towards the bomb site without much being done. Not even certain that the garage breach has been opened up at any point in this round. Haven't really taken a look at it at all, is because Oxygen, the bomb site was downstairs, but they've lost 4 members on the other floors. And now Fox just going to rappel to the roof. There's not much to be done here. Take as much time as you can without having to burn your own tack timeout, and that is going to wrap it up at the top of the spiral skylight. Foxe give up on the round, and Oxygen slowly losing control of this map in a hurry.
2 in a row for KARN & Co. And again, it is all smiles for Wi-Fi. Tristan again started this round off on an absolute heater. Not just the 1, but the 2 opening kills to really send his team into the advantage. And then we just saw everybody from KARN & Co. Clicking, contributing. And who would have thunk that that was actually the basement site, by the way? Not a lot of action actually happening down there. Oxygen, as they tried to go for that clear, they just ran into too many obstacles that they could overcome. An attack timeout here, only 2 rounds in, goes to show exactly how Oxygen are feeling about this.
Again, still early days here on Consulate, but the first 2 rounds have not looked very promising for Oxygen. And I think for KARN & Co., you're getting closer to the goal, and this is going to prompt Oxygen to take attack timeout after 2 rounds, and with the last 30 seconds of that round not really having much action in it, as Fox had just bailed to the roof for the last 20 or so. So, I mean, for Oxygen here, needing a lot of time to regroup and reassess the situation, but like I talked about, the stakes on the line here for Oxygen. Not only is their ability to make Atlanta on the line, but their ability to make SI is also possibly in peril here. KARN & Co. could actually do one of the more incredible upsets in Siege history, honestly, being able to deny Oxygen a presence at 2 Tier 1 tournaments. They'll be heading towards Tellers and Archives to try and get 3 in a row, get a clean sweep of objective rotations. And for Oxygen here, this is the time to wake up. You lose this one, it's a clean sweep of defensive sites. KARN & Co. could be running away with this thing, and there's no chance to catch them after that.
5 seconds to go.
Well, Oxygen have had the time to regroup. They went back to the drawing board, and hopefully they've come up with something not only for round number 3, but that can really shift the way they're approaching this map as a whole. 2 rounds in, and KARN & Co. are clearly feeling comfortable. And they know exactly what it is they have to do to keep taking this advantage in the series right now. We go to Server and Tellers, the opposite side of this bottom floor and that ground floor, to see if KARN & Co. can take a 3rd round in a row. They're going to bring out the Pulse. That's Giddy's job here, to get a lot of information. You combine that with the Valkyrie and a perfectly tossed C4. Oh my! Tristan, that's 3 rounds in a row. He's got the opener. 2 rounds in a row, it's been on to Yaga.
The woes from Oregon continue for Yaga here in the first 3 rounds of Consulate. You get the garage breach open, but at what cost? Tristan starting things off with some fireworks here in round number 3, and a minute has elapsed on the round, and that's the only progress that has been made. And you can see OXG turning their attention back towards Tellers now. Fox will be opting to go for Ibana breaching into the back of Tellers through this newly added wall. Could be a possibility, but again, the amount of intel with the Valkyrie, with the Pulse, with the mirror windows, it's going to be very difficult to get a sneak plant off. And again, the entirety of that floor is soft. It is nitro bolt, just like in the old days. It seems like those Hibana pellets are muted as well, so there's more hurdles to overcome, but Newers might be coming to life here as he's able to grab the opener for his team onto Wi-Fi, level the man count, remove the mute jammer, now taking aim downstairs at the bottom of those server stairs. Taking a little bit of damage in that engagement, not dealing any towards the remaining defenders. Oh, a troublesome position still for Oxygen remains against the Valkyrie, but there goes the Pulse Dream, able to push into the bomb site, but he surrenders the diffuser at the hands of the shotgun from Carnage. Very trying position now for Oxygen to work their way out of. Newers will at least get one. The flashbang comes in and it will blind KARN. He's got the shotgun out. Tristan drops Fox. The shotgun reigns supreme on the stairs, and now it's just Fish alone with the diffuser surrendered downstairs. A 1v2 for Fish, and Tristan will peek up the Teller's hallway hatch. It's a 3-0 lead for KARN & Co.
3 in a row. KARN & Co. are firing on all cylinders right now. Consulate is theirs. Goodness gracious. KARN himself as well with the shotgun absolutely in the trenches. He had a reinforcement and a mirror window to play with, but he had 3 different angles to worry about. He was flashed, he was shot in the side, and somehow managed to not only stay alive, but get a critical shotgun kill that ended up ending the round. OXG, they come out of the attack timeout and they come up with nothing. And KARN & Co. keep on rolling. My goodness.
There's the nitro cell. It evades the frag grenade that Yaga had sent over the wall to clear the mute jammer as well. And KARN persevering in tandem with the flanking fallback there from Tristan. And Tristan, he has held his ground and been a difference maker on all 3 maps. You can see it on Chalet, on Oregon, and now here on Consulate. Tristan has been excelling and exceeding expectations, even with his performance stand-in for Luminosity earlier in the stage. This man has been on a heater now. He hasn't died as of yet. He's got 7 kills through 3 rounds. And I think right now, if you're Tristan and KARN and Co., you're feeling pretty confident about being able to close this thing out. And if there was ever a time to have a response from Oxygen, this is going to be the time you need to get into gear, attacking towards the top floor.
But you said it, gotta kick it into gear. KARN & Co with a clean site rotation can hit that reset button. They can go up top, back to console and meeting room. I mean, and all eyes are on Tristan, who has not died yet this map. It was double opening kills. Last time we were on this site, he was on the prowl, on the yellow stairs, and it looks like that is where he is headed once again. Fish bringing out the Jackal, a reasonable adjustment if you can't find a way to track down these defenders, if they're hidden and just really a nuisance to deal with. The Jackal's a reasonable adjustment. The Lion, clearly I think OXG know what their problems are, and they're bringing out the right elements to deal with it. Is it going to be enough? That's the question.
I see Oxygen just getting immediate entry into Visa and Tellers, just trying to establish some sort of pivot point, some sort of beachhead to be able to operate with. And you can see in stark contrast to the attacking attempt from the first time from Oxygen, this time now going for a far side clear from admin over.
Frag out.
Frag grenades not finding the purchase that they need to here. And Yaga went up short once again. And everyone for KARN & Co able to evacuate now with just a little over a minute remaining. Still a very precarious position to be in if you're Oxygen, have to push through this much utility. Giddy gets one. Newers will at least trade out Wi-Fi. Here we are at a 4v4, and Oxygen, they need to start their advance from admin over now, as 60 seconds will tick away from them and being down 4-0.
Drone's ready.
Yaga, that's a good one. Newers moments away from probably finding another. This is where the tide could turn. Carnage B is still alive. You still got those Vulcan canisters to delay a good bit of time off the clock here. You see the fire, long range there. KARN knows what he has to be careful of. Dream's drone will come in. Kixro will deal with it. So Newers will try to work up and get something done, but the information is limited. The time is limited, and they're going to have to get going. Newers will spot KARN's head for a moment, but won't be able to take advantage just yet. He'll work his way up, but not before Kixro can do a little more damage. Little more damage from Carnage B himself. Newers manages to trade it out, but misses the head. Impact from KARN to close the round. That's 4 in a row.
A lot of time taken there just to establish the admin position. And again, the amount of utility that was at their disposal. You can see all the goo mines that were being hit as the advance from OXG tries to cross the threshold of the bomb site. Just so much utility left on the side of KARN & Co. 4 in a row. 3 rounds away from icing the series as a 2-1 victory and setting a date with Space Station tomorrow in the semifinals of the LCQ. I keep saying it, but if there's a time to wake up for Oxygen, the time is now, as you're running out of chances. It's 4 straight defensive wins here for KARN & Co. Much like the Oregon we saw yesterday between Mirage and Aerial Arise, this could just end up being a map where nobody wants to win an attack. It's not all hope is lost here for Oxygen. There is still a chance, but man, do they need to get in gear in a hurry. It just seems like a very slow, very pedantic, very uncoordinated attacking sequence of rounds here for Oxygen. Unfortunately for them, like I said, time is slipping away from them to be able to figure this out. They've got 2 more attacking rounds. Now for KARN & Co., I imagine they head back downstairs to the garage to try and make it a 5-0 lead. Boy, oh boy, could this upset be cooking.
It really has felt like a matter of time before Oxygen wake up. But Flynn, we are still waiting. I'm checking my watch. We are still, the seconds are ticking away, the minutes are ticking away, and the rounds are simply disappearing. They are running out of chances, and they are running out of time. Round number 5 needs to be a turning point. There is no question about that. Because if KARN & Co. have showed us anything through the first 4 rounds of Consulate, it's that they have a better than average understanding of this map. And even on the attacking side, are likely something to be feared. If OXG want to move into the next half, the final potentially 6 rounds of regulation with any confidence whatsoever, it's got to start here on the attacking side. It's a basement attack. They've got a lot of square footage to cover. And if they do want to approach that east side, they're going to have to worry about, I think that's Wi-Fi hidden up above.
Yeah, it is Wi-Fi on the mute. He's slowly making his way over from admin. He's going to have a friend join him here as well. I think that was Pixro and the Mozzie coming up the stairs. It was indeed. You got a Mozzie and a mute on the roam, trying to come in for this flank. It's a very CEO-heavy focus here for the beginning of the attack for Oxygen. So again, we cross the midway point in the round. Wi-Fi holding for the Gemini, and now the peak coming. The Nitro Cell will land at the door frame, but it will not find anyone. Yogg will drop Kixro as well, so it's just Wi-Fi left alone now at the Spiral lobby, trying to hold off against the attack, and Wi-Fi instead is going to bail out towards the top of Spiral. He'll be droned to confirm, as I believe Newers just hit a cap can trap entering in towards Piano. Next position downstairs. So Wi-Fi has the opportunity to go take aim towards Newers instead, and he's still occupying the time of these attackers. Giddy has made it upstairs towards the front lobby as well, as the sledge will start smacking the floorboards. This is a tough spot. Again, Oxygen running out of time, and they're unaware of Giddy's position.
Yeah, they're choosing to re-aggress here, KARN & Co., and it might just pay off. Giddy's just got to find the angle. It looks like he might have just been spotted there. Now he's cutting a corner, and in a very awkward spot, gets out alive. Carnage B will get one, but Yaga quickly matches that. Now Giddy's in a very tough spot, and he needs to try to find safety, but that is simply not going to be allowed to happen. Finally, OXG, they're looking good. They just have to close it out. Wi-Fi, not eager to let that happen. He finds one on the stairs, nearly one up top, but finally shut down. It's Carnage B out in the open, exposed and eliminated. OXG finally gets something going. It's 1-4, potentially. A comeback begins.
Man, that was still a very close round. Giddy hadn't been spotted. I think the only reason he got pre-fired there on that prone angle is because he started shuffling on the ground and made some noise that drew Newers' attention. So very close there to being a very disastrous round. And Wi-Fi as well, a beautiful shot towards the yellow stairs door and dropping Fox repeatedly with the SMG-11 down to 50 and then down to about 5 HP through those kill holes. He was able to grab that kill. He might have been able to rush the planter as the coverage for Dream getting the plant down was still behind the impervious wall of the yellow hallway.
Located by attackers.
Millimeters once again, but Oxygen able to prevail, able to win, and now we're going to see the 4th bomb site come out for Piano. KARN & Co. trying to make a statement on their last round of the first half. Even at a 4-2 lead, still looks promising, but a 5-1 again could be very devastating for the chances of Oxygen to be able to pull this one back.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, one round of many that Oxygen need to bridge this gap that has been now reduced to 3. The second one could very well be moments away here if things go according to plan. We saw KARN & Co. are clearly feeling comfortable. We saw that over the course of these last few rounds, them building that comfortability and that confidence. And I think we saw them try to do a little too much in round number 5, and that got them into trouble. I think Wi-Fi probably should have dropped down sooner. Giddy probably should not have joined his teammate up top and put himself in such a risky position. It's those little things that start to add up. This one is a perfect example. Foxe has already been able to work his way into the site with that Twitch drone and deal with a lot of utility that KARN & Co. were otherwise hoping would support them.
We've also got an entry topside here from Newers, potentially dealing with the castle barricade, but being spotted on the default camera. But as the door disappears, so does Carnage B. Newers getting back into action on this map now, sets the tone early with the opener onto the castle. There goes a lot of your top floor control. Kicksrow now stuck inside of the closet outside of the projector breach. As Giddy as well getting droned as he's on the cardiac sensor. So here comes Yogg to instigate the fight. Kicksrow tucked inside the closet. Man, this is again a perilous position to be in for the defense here. It's just two members who seem to be isolated. OXG well aware of those positions. Newers double checking and triple checking in towards projector as well as the drones will come out. White has assessed the positioning there of Kickstrow tucked in the corner, but now as he shoots away, he will give away his location, and now it's just about playing his life. The frag grenade comes soaring in, it will miss wide right. Still with a Vector in hand, can do some damage, drops Fish down to about 50 HP. The Nitro does not collect either. The Nitro cell will not get him, and now turning the corner for looking for even more. Kickstrow on 5 HP, could potentially be down and finished off by this Twitch drone. That's how low he is. The Twitch drone gets fought off, and finally Kicksrow will fall. Eats up about a minute at a time, does about 50 damage to Fish, but now it's a 5v3 and the collapse onto the site looking strong for Oxygen.
Tristan will send up a C4, leaving that pre-placed for now. But Oxygen, they're going to use this moment to drop on in and look for this to fuse. Giddy, can he act in time? No. That plant's going to be on a hard floor. You're not going to be able to do much about that. And Oxygen, they have taken full advantage, rolling through, collecting 2 more kills, and putting the fatal blow, at least on round number 6. Giddy is the last alive, but Oxygen have successfully taken control of the site. They've got vertical control up above, and whichever Giddy chooses to push, there's going to be a nice crosshair looking right at his entryway and a bullet with his name on it. He'll take care of Newers first, just for good measure, and land a couple of bullets onto Yaga. But Dream will finish him off, and Oxygen may just be starting to find their stride here on Consulate. It's 2-4. They are not out of this yet.
Not out of it at all. And like I said, you come away with a 4-2 half. Now you get to go to the defensive side. You've secured 2 attacking rounds. 1 onto the basement, 1 onto piano, and both looking pretty solid. I think now for Oxygen, swapping onto the defense here, you can level this thing up. We saw it yesterday on Oregon with a strong run from Aerial Rise, winning 5 defensive rounds in a row and then surrendering 7 rounds consecutively to Mirage. We could be in for a similar story here, but I think KARN & Co.'s experience in terms of winning this map, as opposed to Oxygen's losing streak on this map, would lead you to believe that KARN & Co. can win on both sides of the game, not just on defense. So not out of the woods just yet for Oxygen, but regaining traction, regaining momentum, regaining some confidence, as we were nearly on life support here for OXG. But like I said, they seem to have new life breathed into them. There's still hope here. You just have to, again, stack that first defensive round. Make sure you're getting off to the good start you need in the second half. Bring it back within a 1-round deficit. Anything can happen from there.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Typically with new maps, and when you at least spice up a map and rework it a bit and reintroduce it into the competitive pool, you're going to see maps lean defensive sided. It has been surprising that through the 4 play days that we have seen Consulate, it actually has gone pretty even, 50-50. I believe it's 51% attacker, 49% defender sided, if anything. So the moral of the story is, sure, maybe KARN & Co. have the advantage now, but I'd argue that we are almost at even footing at this point, especially with the momentum that Oxygen have now seemed to build. It's going to be more difficult for KARN & Co. here, especially as the less experienced team trying to attack a map that it's no doubt they have not a ton of experience on. And as round 7 gets underway and they lose an early body, not to mention one of their 2 hard breachers, I think it's a sign that for Oxygen, their chances are looking up.
Talked about it on the first map of Chalet as well. The emergence very early on for Kicksrow, 6 kills for the first 2 rounds, and then didn't find another one for the rest of the map on Chalet, which was a 12-round game. Once again, we're seeing a similar storyline here, but for Tristan instead, who I believe had 7 for the first 2, if not 3 rounds, but hasn't garnered a pick as of yet since. Newers, who started out again cold, Yogg, who started 0-3, they have now rebounded and turned back the clock in terms of their form. The opening pick onto the Thermite as well. hope at the end of the world is they do have some secondary hard breach coming out from Giddy on the ace. So some hard walls will still be able to be opened up, but you've lost a man and you've lost some burn crucially. With these Wamai magnets being needed to be burned by flashbangs. Tristan, his frag grenade will not get caught by the magnet above the door frame nonetheless. But that Kiva barrier will stand. So now for KARN & Co., almost 2 minutes have elapsed in the round. They have not made a whole lot of progress, similar to what we were seeing from the push from Oxygen on an admin across clear, and there goes Dream shutting down Kixrow.
Yeah, good awareness with that shotgun that there was somebody around the other side. Tristan just spots the head of Yaga, but fails to capitalize on that angle. Instead, it'll be Giddy who does it from the other side. Tristan, though, in the meantime, has been dropped. And Wi-Fi will take the time to recover him in an effort to fight this last few moment in a 2v3. Out of luck, of course, as Tristan is finished off by a C4, so it will be the 1v3 quickly turned into an 0v3 as Oxygen will clean up and take their 3rd round in a row.
Again, we're seeing some stall there, and again, a very good start to the round for Fox A, setting the tone with picking off Carnage B on the Thermite. So losing that burn, losing a man, losing your IGL as well. Very tough position to be in. See Fox starting to warm up a little bit. You can see the faces at the 4-0 deficit for Oxygen. Very stoic, not a whole lot of emotion. Now with 3 rounds in the bounce, you can see OXG kind of coming back to life in this matchup. Instead of heading downstairs like we saw as the secondary bomb site for KARN & Co., we're going to be heading to Piano, which ended up being the 4th site that KARN & Co. brought out. So for Oxygen, they've leveled things up near about 1 round away from tying the score to 4-4. And they were down 4-0. It's an impressive run back of rounds here. Now for Oxygen, like we said, backs against the wall when it comes to the major, backs against the wall when it comes to the 6 Invitational. Seems like they're heating up at just the right time, and unfortunately for KARN & Co., the quieting of both Tristan and Kixrow really is leading to some early momentum in rounds for Oxygen.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
One of the most surprising elements, but most powerful elements that KARN & Co. had going for them in, I suppose, Element 1 a few months back was Carnage B himself and his kind of out-of-nowhere ability to pick up the kills where his team wasn't getting them. I mean, we saw him on the ace, on the Thermite, playing so well that they transitioned him over to a fragging role in some of those series. Obviously, that is a situation that we don't often see. He's usually playing that hard support role and doing it extremely well. But if KARN & Co. need him, he's been able to step up in the past, and I think this is one of those days where we're going to also have to see the man of the hour, KARN himself, step up and kind of go nuclear here. It feels necessary if Tristan and Kixrow are going to stay quiet, and if, you know, someone like Newer starts to heat up on this second half, which he is now with 10 kills after a rough start on this map, it really is going to have to be an all hands on deck effort for KARN & Co. if they want to win it.
The opener once again established. Last round it was Fox. Like you said, this time now it's Newers, and Tristan the first to fall this time around for KARN & Co. Again, he will continue his run of having those 7 picks early on, but he's been killless for the last handful of rounds at minimum. KARN just missing the rotation here of Yaga as well, and there goes Newers again. So I talk about silencing Tristan and Kixrow. Newers will do exactly that. Wi-Fi will at least trade out Newers on his rotation with Tellers. Now with a punch hole in towards the bomb site itself of Piano from the back of the Teller's wall. Wi-Fi will try and drone and reassess the situation. His teammates need to get a move on. KARN's on the roof. Wi-Fi's outside the front door. Giddy's outside the front door. So everyone for KARN & Co. separated, now rejoining at the top of the spiral stairs. The first one to meet them will be Yaga. Nice shot there from both of them. Wi-Fi and Yaga will trade. Now it's KARN and Giddy to work out of a 2v3 to stop Oxygen from getting 4 in a row and tying things up. And as I say that, Dream will pop up from the bottom of spiral stairs, leaving Giddy alone, trying to aggress onto the top floor. And there goes the peek from Fox, shut down by Giddy. So now a 1v2, no diffuser control and 50 HP. Not impossible, but still a very tough task. He's wildly pre-firing, and he'll bring it down to the 1v1. Now it's just Dream, who was last called out at the bottom of the spiral stairs, but needing to recover the diffuser. Still a very perilous situation for Giddy to try and work his way out of. Just trying to open up to the floor, but Dream in a safe position in the midst of yellow stairs. No diffuser
15
control
seconds
here for
left.
Giddy. It's going to require one hell of a shot and one hell of a mistake from
10
Dream to
seconds
expose
left.
himself in this
Attackers have
position.
recovered their diffuser.
Rushing into the bomb site is Giddy. Might be able to get
5
the plant
seconds to
down
go.
in this hard corner, but with the Valkyrie cameras, I imagine not being taken care of, and they have not. Plant going down into the overtime. The vault from Dream will secure it. A valiant attempt from Giddy, but KARN & Co. surrender 4 in a row to Oxygen. And now on the defensive side, it seems like OXG trying to put themselves back on course to meet with Space Station tomorrow.
Well, at least they've tied us up. They've taken 4 in a row and neutralized the advantage that KARN & Co. had been able to secure up to that side switch. But now it is certainly a very different story. All the momentum, all the hype surrounding this team, all the smiles on someone like Wi-Fi's face, well, they have seemed to disappear from the lobby, albeit temporarily. They're going to take this tack timeout, and both teams will get a chance to talk things over and figure out exactly what it is they want to do to correct those mistakes. In Oxygen's case, it's a matter of just keep on keeping on. Whatever you did after that tack timeout, maybe it took you a round or two, but it is clearly working. You have found your stride. And for KARN & Co., somehow they have to harness those first 4 rounds energy again and see if they can make something happen on the attacking side.
I guess when you gotta go, you gotta go. As soon as he knew the tag timeout was coming, Fish got up out of his chair, ripped out his headphones, and went sprinting out of frame on the webcam, and it looks like he has just returned as we jump in. The harder part for Fish there in terms of being able to leave his PC and jump in is that on the attack, you could probably do that and take a little bit more time because you could re-pick out of the auto-picked operator. On the defense, that's not the case. So he has the Azami. I imagine that is the intended operators. We have seen him on that quite a bit throughout this series, but playing with fire a little bit as Fish as well, needing a bio break of some kind, and we head downstairs now for Oxygen at a 4-4 scoreline, trying to continue the run. We saw it yesterday between Mirage and Aerial Arise on Oregon. Could we see a similar fate of Oxygen streaming 7 in a row to end the map, end the series, and send themselves to the semifinals?
This would really be a punishing blow if Newers can get something done here on the Vigil. It's a brutal way to kill any momentum that KARN & Co. might be feeling coming out of the tack timeout. Newers will not find anything just yet, and he'll have to be wary of some pressure coming from down below. Tristan has opened up an angle into the garage. He will accidentally expose himself to that window while holding a drone in his hand, though. So he has got to be very careful about what lies around the other side. That little indication on his drone will tell him that there is a Vigil near. Wi-Fi will spot him, lose his drone in the process, but at least they know one of the threats they're going to have to deal with. Newers will back off for the time being, reinforcing himself in. And I think Oxygen, they feel the pressure coming, and at this 60-second mark, you're largely seeing a bit of a retreat from them. Starting to back off and play a little bit safer.
You can see the roam coming up from Oxygen, mirroring a little bit from what we saw in KARN & Co. on their defensive stand on this bomb site. Newer's still going to persevere inside of Tellers here, inside of the bomb site, to reject any potential entry through the Visa double door, but instead it'll be the lobby entry. The Ace Selm is going off, and frag raids go soaring into the Tellers hallway. So Newer's under siege slightly, but the same problem arises for KARN & Co. as did for Oxygen when attacking this bomb site. The amount of intelligence being gained from down below. Got a pulse underneath. KARN will get the first one onto Newers, though, so at least that's the immediate hurdle taken care of. But with Yaga rotating topside now with Fish, they're going for the flank. You've still got the pulse down below of Foxe with 2 nitro cells. At least 1 downstairs still. The plant going down, though, and nobody here reading it out. Fox, nobody paying attention. And there goes the plant from KARN.
C4 from Yaga not used. Carnage B and Kixro are just doing damage here, and it's only Yaga. The long-range shotgun, that's something, but he'll have to take out the pistol and do the rest of the work. Talk about regrouping after the timeout. KARN & Co. have done so. They got the diffuser down, and they're seconds away from a round win. Yaga's got to get very active here. He rounds the corner, but cannot find it. The energy is back for KARN & Co., and so is the lead.
I'm not entirely certain what happened with Fox there. I can't remember actually if there was an EMP or something. Maybe Fox's cardiac sensor was disabled for the moment, or he just was in a tough position where he couldn't get to the planter. Maybe he didn't even believe that heartbeat sensor was the one planting. But whatever the error was downstairs, it was a misstep for Oxygen, unable to stop the plant from coming down. And again, playing in that post plant situation, it's a very easy post plant to win, especially when you have that top control. The attempted flank doesn't really go anywhere either, as Yaga was the last man standing. Flank comes out just a little bit too late, as everyone else in the objective had perished. So Oxygen, after winning 4 in a row, like you said, the attack timeout from KARN & Co., able to regroup, and now we will head topside once again for KARN & Co. Try and be able put themselves on match point and series point. Wi-Fi bringing out the blitz. KARN on the Ying. We've got Giddy and Tristan on the Ash and the Yana.
5 seconds remaining.
This is looking like it could be a very explosive round number 10 to potentially set up the
Attackers are moving
6-4.
out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
I'm here for it. I mean, the Candelas, the flash shield, the nades thrown in. This could get scary for Oxygen if they are not careful. The one problem with all that is that Wi-Fi is still sitting in spawn. So if they want to get something done, it may happen explosively, but it will not happen instantly. You see Wi-Fi there sending his drone out and getting a bit of information before eventually making that move. Now, the big challenge for KARN & Co. will be keeping the blitz concealed. Once Oxygen know about that, it's probably not going to be a problem for them to deal with, considering the 3 C4s and the 2 impacts they have in pocket. But if KARN & Co. can keep this plan under wraps for a bit longer, this could certainly work out well.
Oh, the frag grenade from Tristan. I think he just detonated a hair too early. Dream will persevere, now be the thorn in the side as Newers will get one. The knife down with the shield though from Wi-Fi. He starts descending onto the bomb site, but cut down. 2 swift kills from OXG. The diffuser surrendered control as well. There goes the T95 ringing out from Carnage B though. Taking care of Yaga, Tristan flanking for the diffuser control. Nothing to worry about the connector though, as Newers has 3 on the round, looking for even more with the SMG-12 in hand. Throws on the smart glasses, and it is Newers for 4 on the round to continue being the life source of OXG. And it's now a 5-5 scoreline. We are once again going to need every round of regulation.
Crazy the work that Newers is doing right now for Oxygen. It's absolutely crazy. Where would they be without him? I really don't know. He had 11 or 12 kills in map 1. He reached 18 kills in map 2, and he is already at 15, if not 16 kills, and we'll see it on the scoreboard in a second, but at least 15 kills so far on this map as well. Those are insane numbers. Insane numbers. And we've seen some really good stuff put up by KARN & Co. too. I mean, we see Tristan working his way into double digits. We see the same thing from Carnage B and Giddy at this point, but you're just not matching what Newers is bringing to the table right now. And it is such a daunting task when you're working your way into the building, even with the Candelas, even with the flash shield. If there's a warden staring at you, and a warden who is this capable at gunning you down, what are you supposed to do? There it is, 15 kills for Newers. Seriously having a day. And Oxygen grateful at his performance right now. There's no question about that.
For OXG now, returning to the piano bomb site that they were successful in winning the first time they attempted it. And again, that does come down to a 1v1. Realistically, it was Giddy against the world in a 1v3 in the last minute of that round. And he's able to win out a couple good gunfights, but just not enough time and not enough health left on the board for his availability to get the plant down. Once again, we're going to see Dream on that Valkyrie with the intel towards the bomb site. And the clear elsewhere on the map for KARN & Co. on the attack has to be a lot better. The Nitro Cell goes soaring. It only claims half the life of Kickstro. He and his frag grenades will live on in this match. We've got Ace almost being impact tricked by Dream onto the bomb site as well from the lobby hallway. It's a very tough spot to be in if you're trying to play onto the bomb site. And Dream will try to do so from inside piano momentarily. Other than that, no one else from OXG really joining him in that Very tough situation. Dream, though, going for the run out instead, gets off the bomb site and drops Tristan. So again, Tristan, 2 really big rounds to start off this map, and he's been silent ever since.
Kitty trying to make something happen here. Long way off from the action, though. And you see KARN and Co. a long way off from each other. All 4 different positions. Not a lot of easy headway into the site. Great shot from Dream. That's 2 on the round. Wi-Fi denied from getting anything else done. It's the shotgun that gets 2 more. Fish lethal up top. Giddy taken care of quickly, and Oxygen deliver the flawless round to move to series point.
It was a 4-0 lead for KARN and Co. to start Consulate, and OXG have brought it all the way back. They have nearly snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. You can see the difference in the face cams of, okay, maybe not Yaga, but the other face cams for Oxygen. You can see the elation, you can see the emotion, just the stark contrast between this and the beginning of round number 5 for Oxygen. It's night and day. They look like 2 different teams playing on 2 different days, and Dream hitting some nasty shots in that round, and like you said, the shotgun coming out from Fish, leveling everyone topside for KARN and Co. So now we stand on match point and series point after a flawless round for Oxygen. 6-5, they could end it here in regulation and secure their date in the semifinals tomorrow against SSG. KARN and Co, though, we saw them prolong the series on Oregon into overtime. Same could be done here for KARN and Co. They would have to be victorious attacking towards the garage.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Well, KARN and Co, they've put up a heck of a fight, but it's a miracle run that could very well end here in regulation. Overtime, 1 round away. If they can put just 1 more round together, their 2nd attacking round win, it would have to be.
Deploying drone.
Feels like not very likely considering the way this second half has gone, but they just showed us a glimmer of hope a moment ago. Win condition? Flynn, I think we both know what it is. Find a way to kill Noobs, and that'd be a great start.
That would be a great start, and also having Tristan involved in the round in some fashion would also be good. Him and Kicksrow,
Still
man.
at 7, I just noticed.
Yeah, still at 7, and like you said, win condition, find Newers, remove him from play. That's an Uno reverse card coming out from Newers, spotting Wi-Fi, dropping him to the floor. It's now a 4v5 to keep the series alive for KARN and Co.
Kicksrow will sneak his way on through. He knows there's someone around. There's some information to work with. A drone at his feet. Eventually gets the shot, but Fish also able to deal the lethal blow onto Tristan. Yaga, around the other side. He gets another, and it's a 2v4 just to stay alive for KARN and Co. Giddy, there's one right around the other side. Talk about aggression. Fish is going off. That's his 8th kill, and Carnage B is now the last man standing. Couldn't have it any other way. A storybook ending for a storybook run here in their series against Oxygen, but it very well could come to an end here in just a moment. He is all alone against 4. And that aggression, that active play we saw from Oxygen, seems like they're gonna back off, hit the brakes, and force KARN and Co to walk into a death trap.
Sure looks like it, and I think for Carnage right here, just trying to find anything. He's not going to give up on the round like we've seen before. This is do or die, but he's trying to piece it apart into 1v1s. The impact come up to the floorboards, and he'll spot 1 to drop Fish up against the garage reinforcement, but now down to about 5 HP. It's looking bleaker and bleaker for Carnage, unfortunately. Still staring down to the floorboards, trying to find another member of Oxygen to overstay their welcome in a power position that has been revealed from above. But here comes KARN with the diffuser, the last stand for KARN and Co, the namesake of the team, having to punch through a Kiba barrier, will reveal his position to the OXG defenders, and as he turns the corner, he's going to have 2 people staring straight at him. Good perseverance here and good patience from Oxygen. Dream will be the one to cut him down, and it's Oxygen